Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's time for another volume review by Empress. Thank you guys for joining me. I want to thank Yem Press, first of all, for sending me another copy to review for you guys. This is going to be volume 2 of I'm Quitting Heroing. Volume 1 was released a few months ago. This is volume 2 now. It's a great series. I don't know if an anime is yet to come, but I would actually enjoy watching this one. Now, it follows the hero Leo, and he joins basically the demon army, and that's kind of what happened in the first volume. And we'll talk more about what happens in the second volume. I'll keep it general, so I won't ruin too much of what's going on, but um, that way you guys can read it on your own. But before anything, guys, check out Yen Press. Yen Press is a great company. They give us so many light novels through Yen on the Press themselves, released a lot of manga, and now they have even another company called Easy Press where they're releasing a lot of webtoons made into manga. So great company. There's a link in the description below where you guys can buy cheap light novels and manga. Yen Press obviously is there, and they always, or almost always have a discount for them. So great company, and they're doing great things for the community. So make sure you give them some love. Also, give some love to this video. Comment, like, and share. It just helps tremendously for my channel, but also for them. And then you guys can also, at the end, subscribe, especially if you're watching up to this point, might as well. So, okay, volume 2, I'm Quitting Hittering. So we're still following the story of Leo. Leo has kind of, been hiding behind the queen, and the queen accepts him into the group, and there's four generals. Now, from the four generals, two of them he already had experience with in the first volume, and then the next two he has an experience in the first chapters of this volume. So the first half is basically that. He interacts with the witch or the wizard one, and she needs communication skills. So he basically takes her in this quest of practicing her communication skills, and one of the quests is basically being a waitress. There's a lot of fun there. I really like that part. And the second one that's actually better was the Beast Man, who's in charge of the army itself, and really just the expectations that he's placing on the soldiers. They're way too high, and because they're way too high, the soldiers are they're quitting. They're not, wanting to be in it. There's no morale. So he joins, and he basically uses him as an example, and he mocks him in a way where he understands, oh, this is how I'm being with my soldiers. I'm expecting them to know stuff that, unless I train them, then they wouldn't know. Like, I can't expect so much from them because they're there to learn and to become, a group with him being the leader, and not just you do this, you do that, and why aren't you completing the tasks that I want you to, without any example or even any realistic expectation from him. So, pretty good scene. I'm going to be honest, I enjoy that one more than the first one. Then the third, or about 3/4 of the volume we get for about a fourth of the volume, the past of Leo. So Leo has actually been alive for centuries. He was a creation of the humans to protect the humans, and he is the one that became the hero. Now, I do want to specify that there was other creations, and they weren't really clear if they died. So I just want to point that out because they might come back at some point, and it might be an issue. But we focus on him. He essentially has a conversation with a goblin, and he understands his way of thinking, and essentially the goblin inserts a seed into his mind, and really he's more of a robot, to be honest, or android. That what is his purpose? If his purpose is to always protect humanity, but when humanity is already fully protected, then what comes after, right? There has to be conflict for him to be protecting, and if there's no conflict, which is his goal, for them not to be conflict, then he's then not needed. So that this is why eventually when the humans started not wanting him because they were afraid of how powerful he might be, he decided to go on a journey and find himself essentially. The last fourth of the volume, the last part of it really, is the queen discussing with the four generals, and now him is invited to the table of leadership as well. How they're gonna have to retreat because there's only really two options. There's the portal is closing, and they don't really have time other than maybe a week before it completely closes. So she's like, we can go and attack, which is the first option. Really, she mentioned it as the second option, but she says we can go and attack, but there's this hero who's gonna defeat us, and it's we stand no chance. So we have to retreat. And then she goes and explains like it's a bummer because like most of the army are Earthlings. They don't live in the demon world. So really, she's retreating with her right hand general and really just a few other soldiers, and everyone else is staying behind. So they're gonna have to disband. And eventually, Leo gets her attention enough. He removed his disguise, and he's like, "Look, I can help you. There's two stones. You're looking for one, but there's actually two. I can help you." And that's kind of how the volume ends. So, um, great series. It really is. Um, Other World series, not easy, Kide. I love the whole background story of Leo, how he's been seeing civilization basically progress and fall, and he kind of understands that they're in a vicious cycle, and that's why he is where he is now. Great character. I think overall the series is doing better than I thought it would, to be honest. I do recommend this one. It's an easy read. I will say that there is some sections where it's a lot of uh, dialogue, but a lot of other places it's just a lot easier to read. So I do appreciate that from some mangas because sometimes they either focus so much on the artistic side, which is fine, and you read through it so fast, or sometimes it's way too much dialogue and it almost feels like, why do it like this? All that could have been done in the light novel. There's maybe way too much stuff that can maybe be reducted because it can be shown through just a picture of how the manga is intended to be. So, great series. Go check it out. Again, there's a link in the description below. Give some love to my channel, guys. If you haven't done so by now, subscribe. Especially if you're watching up to this point, it's because you liked it, right? So, subscribe. Thank you again for the love and support. I'll see you guys next time. And like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.